Hi guys, in this video we'll go over some questions on our chapter 6 quiz. Alright, so first question, the following diagram shows domestic demand and domestic supply in the market. In addition, assume the world price in this market is $40 per unit. Alright, so before we look at the question, first thing to know that we have a world price which is $40. Let's draw a line here. This is the world price. All right, so before we look at the question, as you notice that this right here, equilibrium price is 80, and then world price is 40. So anytime if your domestic price is more than world price, then we should import this good. That means everybody else does it cheaper, you do it more expensive, so you should import this good. And the amount of import will be found from this 2 point here. So this difference, that's your amount of import. So our total consumption on the demand curve is going to be 1800 units, but on the supply curve, our domestic production, our quantity supplied, is only 600 units. So normally we call this difference shortage, but since we have an importing source now, so this shortage will be met with our import. So this difference here is our import. All right, so next, suppose government impose a tariff of $20. The amount of revenue collected by government be how much? So if you put a tariff on the market, the tariff will be placed on top of the world price. So before the world price is 40, so $20 more than that, that will be, 20 plus 40, which is 60. So this right here, we're gonna call this one PW plus tariff. So that'll be the new price for the market. And then your government tax revenue will be this little area, right here, okay? So this area here, that's our tax revenue. And then the triangle on top, use different color. This triangle here, that is our consumer surplus. And then your producer surplus will be this triangle here. That's your producer surplus. And then we have our deadweight loss. So deadweight loss is the little triangle here. And then little triangle there. Those are the deadweight loss. So our government tax revenue will be this rectangle right here. That is our tax revenue. Okay, so to find that area, let's do the math. So the vertical difference is from 40 to 60. So the vertical difference is 20. The horizontal difference is from this is 1500. This is 900. So the horizontal difference is 600. Now do not divide it by 2 because this is a rectangle. So if a triangle divided by 2, but since we have a rectangle here, just keep like that, base times height. So answer should be 12,000. Okay, so C is our answer for this question. Okay, all right. Okay, that's the similar question, but this is asking for how much is deadweight loss caused by the tariff. So deadweight loss are the 2 triangles there and there. So to find the deadweight loss, let's find the first triangle. So the one over here. So the vertical difference is 20. Horizontal difference is from 600 to 900. So that's a 300 divided by 2. Because it's a triangle, right? So this would be 30,000. Or 3,000. Okay, that's for the first one. And then for the second one, the answer should be the same. So 20 is the vertical difference, and the horizontal difference is from 1500 to 1800. So it's also 300 horizontal difference, and divided by 2 is 3,000. So 3,000 plus 3,000, the answer should be 6,000, and that is our deadweight loss. Okay, so for the next question, the answer is going to be deadweight loss 6,000. All right, similar question, still same graph. It's asking for with trade and tariff, consumer surplus is how much? So, oh my, I'm gonna use the same graph again. So with trade tariff, let me erase this. Use different colors. You can guys see the math behind it. So with tariff will be the green triangle on top. That's with tariff. So that's our consumer surplus. So that will be the horizontal difference is from 160 to 70. So 160 minus 70, that's your horizontal difference. That's a vertical difference, and the horizontal difference is from 0 to 1500 divided by 2. I need my calculator. So we're doing 160 minus 70, that's a 90, and then 90 times 1500 divided by 2 because it's a triangle, so 67,500. 67,500. Did I answer? Wait, what? No, the answer is different. What did I do wrong? Let me see. Did I get the number messed up? So what? Oh, no. It's not 70. This should be 60. So messy. It's hard to see. Let me erase this. All right, so 60 is the price, not 70, right? So that is the triangle. The price stopped at 60, not 70. All right, so minus 60. So that's 100 times 1500 divided by 2. That should be a 75,000. Okay, so answer for the question should be 75,000. And then the producer surplus is how much? So for producer surplus, that'd be the triangle below. So this different color. So this triangle here, that's our producer surplus. So that will be the vertical difference of 60 times the horizontal difference of 900 divided by 2. So that should be 27,000. That is our producer surplus. Okay, so answer is going to be A. All right, so next question. We have a world price, we have a domestic price. So your world price is more than domestic price. So this will be a exporting market. And then for this exporting market, this difference on top, that's your number of export. All right, so relative to no trade situation, trade with the rest of the world resulting in what? So with no trade, let's go over the consumer and producer surpluses. With no trade, your consumer surplus will be the area on top. So consumer surplus is area A, B, C. And then producer surplus will be area C and F. And then total surplus will be A, B, C, F. Oh, this is D here. Stupid. All right. Now this is no trade. Now with trade, this will be the price now. That's with trade price. So consumer is just the triangle on top. So consumer surplus area A. Producer will be everything below that. So producer will be area B, D, G, C, and F. And then total surplus is everything all together. Okay. So it looks like that with trade, that we had this extra area G here. So G, because we never had a G over here, but we have a G right here, right? So G is called gains from trade. So with trade, with exporting, the country is better off because they have extra gains from trade. Now let's go over each answer choices here. So first, says Guatemala consumers paying a higher price for coffee. This will be true because when you trade, your domestic price goes away. So domestic price was 90. So with trade, this goes away. The new price will be set at the world price of 110. So A is true. B, it says decrease in producer surplus in Guatemala. This is false because with exporting, the producer is better off, not worse off, but better off. And then C says decrease in total surplus in Guatemala. This is also false because total surplus, remember this extra G here, the gains from trade, we have extra now. So you have a more total surplus. So answer is A. Okay. All right. Next one. Same graph I did before. This is asking with free trade, how much is our total surplus? So with free trade, price at 40. Then the triangle on top, that is our consumer surplus. Let's find that one first. So that will be vertical difference is from 40 to 160, so 120 vertical difference. Horizontal difference is 1800. Triangle, so divided by 2. So I'm gonna do 120 times 1800 divided by 2, and the answer is gonna be 108,000. Okay, and then the producer surplus will be the little triangle below. That's a producer surplus. So that will be vertical difference is 40, horizontal difference 600, and don't forget divided by 2, and this will be another 12,000. So your total surplus, add everything all together, so 108,000 plus 12,000, and the answer should be 120,000. Okay, so the answer is D. Okay. All right, next. Consumer surplus after trade. So this is the world price. So consumer surplus will be a little triangle over here. That's your consumer surplus with trade. So the vertical difference will be from 78 to 54 times the horizontal difference of 800 divided by 2. So let's see what the answer is. So we said we're gonna do 78 minus 54 times 800 divided by 2. So 9,600. Okay, so the answer is going to be B over here, 9,600. All right, next. With trade, total surplus in Guatemala is how much? So with trade, this is the consumer surplus. And then this is the producer surplus, and then together is your total surplus. So first let's find consumer surplus. So consumer surplus, it goes from 140 to 110. That's the vertical difference times horizontal difference is 18 divided by 2. So this should be so many math. 140 minus 110 times 18 divided by 2, 270. And then the producer surplus from 30 to 110, so 110 minus 30 times horizontal difference is 40 divided by 2, so that's 80 times 40 divided by 2, 1600, and then your total surplus is your 270 plus 1600 should be 1870, right? Right, so the answer is C, 1870. Okay. All right, next question. When trade is allowed, so like we said before with trade, consumers, they're worse off. Producers, they're better off because they have more producer surplus. So Guatemala producers are better off and Guatemala consumers are worse off. So A is right. And B says Guatemala consumers are better off. That is false. Guatemala consumer worse off because if you're exporting, you basically allow your domestic consumers to compete against foreign consumers. So they'll be worse off. And then C says both are better off. That's false. And D is both worse off. That's false. So only A is right. Okay, so domestic producers with exporting, they are better off. And then consumers with exporting, they're worse off. All right, so same, man, this question is everywhere. So suppose government impose a tariff of $20 per unit. With trade and tariff, total surplus is how much? All right, so let's redraw this graph we had. Okay, so So at 60, that is our consumer surplus on top. Producer surplus is right here. That is the producer surplus. Different color. Right here is our tariff revenue. And then we have our deadweight loss, the two little triangles. Those are the deadweight loss. Deadweight loss, deadweight loss. All right, so to find your total surplus, this equals to the consumer surplus plus producer surplus plus tariff revenue. Okay, so our consumer surplus, so 160 consumer surplus equal to 160 minus 60 times this is 1500 divided by 2, so 75,000. So producer surplus is going to be 60 times 900 divided by 2, that's a 27,000. And then your tariff revenue will be 20 times, the 20 coming from the difference here. Okay, so from 40 to 60, the difference is a 20. So 20 times the horizontal difference is from 900 to 1500, that's a 600, that's a 12,000. So add it all together. Let me see. Gonna do 75,000 times 27,000. Oh, not time, plus 27,000, and then plus 12,000. The answer is 114,000. Okay, so the answer is going to be B. All right, next one. This is the last one. All right, so same graph. Suppose government impose a tariff of $20 per unit relative to free trade. The imposition of tariff does what? So whenever you have a tariff, so let's look at with no tariff. With no tariff, this will be the world price. And then all this area on top, that's your consumer surplus. And then this area below, that's your producer surplus. And then to get your total surplus. But with a tariff, what the tariff does, tariff will increase how much the price is. So price goes up to 16. That's a new price now. And then your producers will be better off now, because producers, they're gonna have a bigger surplus when the price goes up. But for the consumers, they are way much worse off. Because for consumers, they end up paying higher prices. The government will be better off, because for government, they can collect a tariff revenue. So this little rectangle here is tariff revenue. But the overall economy will be worse off, because for overall economy, we have a triangle here that's not recovered, a triangle here that's not recovered. Those are our deadweight loss. So overall economy is worse off. Okay, so it's asking for our number import. So when the price was 40, let me resolve this. When the price was 40, our import was from 600 to 1800. So we import 1200 unit. Now when the price goes up to 60 with a tariff, your number import is now between 900 and then 1500. That difference is going to be 600. So it looks like our import is going down by 600 unit. So decrease import by 600. Now for domestic productions, when the price is 40, our domestic production was at 600. When the price increased to 60, our domestic production is at 900. So our import went down by 600, and our domestic quantity supplied domestically. So domestic domestic production increased by 300. It went from 600 to 900. So answer should be C. Okay. All right. So guys, that's all the questions for this little quiz help. Have any question, let me know. Okay. All right. Good luck. Bye-bye.